And well, what do you think of this river?
I've been out here for about a week and a half now, and I've been working on a project about people that are working to protect the salmon and enjoy this river. And I've never been here before, and I got to say that in the time I've been here, I've really fallen in love with it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just the land and and all the people that are on it. It's people say this about a lot of places, but it really is a really special place.
Yeah.
So I wish I had more time here. I mean, I really enjoyed getting to learn a little bit about fishing today, and but maybe I'll get a chance to be back and experience a bit more.
Yeah, you need to come up here when there's some fishing going on, and go out on a sturgeon fishing trip. I mean, up in the canyon there with the Great River Fishing Adventures. Dean Work, a friend of mine, took me up there. It's just beautiful scenery while you came through Yale there.
Yeah.
And of course, this is one of the, if not the world's biggest salmon producing rivers in the world.
That's right. It's one of the things I love about it, is that it's thoroughly wild in one sense. I mean, the mountains, and it drops out of some of the biggest peaks in North America, and then it comes into one of the largest cities on the West Coast. And so it's got that wonderful mix of urban and wild and developed and free at the same time. It's like I said, I think it's a really unique place, and the conditions that give that kind of give rise to the challenges that are being faced here are quite unique too. So I've been really interested in finding out what the vision is for this place, and how all the different communities that interact with it, and the sort of kinds of people and the kinds of use that are dependent on it, how they come together to create a shared vision for its future.
Yeah, and I mean, when you travel on the Salmon Caravan that we just completed last Saturday, coming all the way from Mount Robson down to the Salish Sea, and to see the people, and traveling this river and everything, you can see how important it is to them, and while they're willing to give their time and effort to save it. I mean, it's under attack all the time by different urbanizations, gravel extraction that we had here.
Yeah.
Just right where we're looking here now, they built a causeway across to the big island there, and they were supposed to put a bridge in. They didn't put the bridge in. They put culverts, and it dewatered in behind when the pinks were running, and there was millions of elvins suffocated because of the loss of water, and there was also some chum in there. So that got the Fraser River Gravel Stewardship Committee going, and this river, it's that people want to take gravel out of here is because of to use for construction purposes. But
right.
You just look, and you'd have to agree, Michael, the size of it. You'd never take enough gravel out of here to prevent a flood. I mean, we've had two major floods in the 1890s and 1948 that caused millions of dollars damage. And there still needs to be work done on the dike, but we are losing those fish, taking gravel out of sturgeon spawning areas, things like that. And these are the things that that we're fighting to protect. I mean, these fish, like as I say quite often, are not like oil in the ground. You take the oil out and it's gone. But if we look after the fish, they'll come back. They'll keep coming back. And we don't just think of what it's doing now for us. We got to think of the future for my children, my grandchildren that are precious to me. And this is why I give my time, and why many other people do. And big business sometimes wants to override you.
Yeah, sure.
So just in a nutshell, what would your take on the Salmon Caravan, joining it here at Shem, just the other side of us where we are here and traveling right down? What's your major take of what you saw go on?
Well, I thought it was pretty powerful stuff. I mean, it's I think it's hard, as a person of European descent, but also as a person that's foreign to this country and foreign to the West Coast. I think it's hard to really understand the depth of connection that First Nations have to this place. And so, even just getting to see that in a small way, for me, I thought was very moving. But then also, I was really inspired to see that it, even though it was being First Nations led in a lot of ways, there was a lot of young people there, a lot of people with families, people of all generations really, and all walks of life and colors of skin, and probably attitudes towards the river and the salmon were really getting involved for their own reasons. So I was really inspired to see that kind of diversity in the group too. So I think those are probably my biggest takeaways.
Yeah. Well, on behalf of Eddie Gardner and Don Morrison and the Wild Salmon Caravan, we thank you for coming along, and we'll be looking forward to your publication. And good luck as you head back to Washington here in a few days. You'll remember this day and week for a long time, I'm sure.
I will, for sure. Yeah, thanks again for having me. I really appreciate it.